A man named Hirayama wakes up early in the morning in his modest apartment so as not to be late for work. He does not even have a bed, so he is forced to sleep on a futon laid out on the floor. Hirayama is no longer young, and there are no prospects in his life for the foreseeable future. Nevertheless, he does not complain. Every day Hirayama takes care of his houseplants, which brings great joy to his soul. Every morning the man puts on his uniform, buys a soda from a vending machine near his home, gets into his minivan, and listening to his favorite music on cassette tapes, drives to work in a prestigious district of Tokyo on the other side of the city, which is radically different from the troubled neighborhood where Hirayama lives. He works as a cleaner of public toilets and performs his duties with the utmost diligence. Many people in his place would do everything carelessly, not considering it something important, but not Hirayama. He takes pleasure in seeing everything shine with cleanliness after his work. The man belongs to the kind of people who see beauty in small things, even in a ray of daylight. He knows how to enjoy every moment of his life. Hirayama's younger colleague, Takashi, unlike him, is often late and treats cleaning toilets with disdain. The guy sees no point in trying so hard if everything will be dirty again tomorrow anyway. But Hirayama holds a different view, believing that what they do is meaningful, even if those around them do not notice their work and take it for granted. That day Hirayama sees a small boy in one of the toilets, clearly lost. The man offers to look for his mother together with him. At that very moment the boy's panicking mother appears, scolding her son for having wandered off without permission as much as half an hour earlier. At the same time the woman does not even notice Hirayama and does not thank him. As they leave, the boy turns around and waves to the cleaner. The man smiles and waves back. Throughout the day Hirayama drives his minivan from one place to another, cleaning public toilets. During a break he has a snack in a small public park, admiring the blue sky and the trees. The man finds it so beautiful that he cannot resist and takes a photograph with his film camera. Then he digs up a maple shoot to replant it. Hirayama continues his work, cleaning a public toilet in the park. A woman, clearly not a local, is surprised by how the stall becomes opaque when someone is inside. Hirayama silently shows her how it works. And so his day goes by. After his shift, he returns to his modest home and first of all replants the maple into a mug. It will be an addition to his home garden. The rest of the day is free, so the man takes his bicycle and goes to a public bath, since his small apartment has neither a bathtub nor a shower. In the evening the weather turns bad, thunderclouds gather in the sky, and heavy rain begins to fall. Hirayama heads to his favorite underground bar, where he is a regular. It is not a trendy place, but the man likes its atmosphere. Late in the evening he returns home, spreads out his mattress and blanket on the floor and reads a book. This is his usual ritual before sleep. At night, Hirayama has peaceful dreams. Then everything repeats. He wakes up early in the morning again, when it has not even begun to get light yet, washes his face, takes care of his home garden, buys a soda from the vending machine and sets off to work across the entire city, listening to his favorite songs. During breaks Hirayama savors every moment, feeling like a truly happy person. At a public toilet in the park, Takashi sees a very beautiful girl named Aya. The guy is eager to finish his work quickly so that he can take Aya for a ride on his motorcycle. But alas, the motorcycle will not start. Since such a chance cannot be missed, Takashi begs Hirayama to lend him his minivan. In the end the three of them go together. The man remains silent. Takashi jokes that Hirayama is the best worker, but not the best conversationalist. Aya is irritated by Takashi constantly repeating that she is a 10 out of 10. The girl asks Hirayama for permission to put on a cassette from his collection. She also likes Patti Smith. Of course the man does not mind. Takashi, who understands absolutely nothing about good music, asks Hirayama why he brings his equipment with him and performs his duties with such diligence. What is the point of putting so much effort into this kind of work anyway? The man gives no answer. Aya asks Takashi to drop her off. The girl has been called into work. The guy is upset that they will not get to hang out. Aya suggests hanging out at her workplace. She works at a hostess bar. Takashi starts whining loudly about not having any money. Before the girl leaves, Hirayama slips a cassette with a Patti Smith recording into her handbag. Takashi complains again that without money no girl wants to date him and persuades Hirayama to go to a specialty shop to have his cassettes appraised. It turns out they could fetch a tidy sum. Cassettes are back in fashion now, especially recordings from the 1970s and 1980s. But the man flatly refuses to sell them, not even a single one. Takashi tries to play on his pity and begs him to agree, saying that this might be his only chance to fix his personal life. This does not make the man change his mind, but he gives the guy his last bit of money. Takashi is overjoyed and thanking Hirayama, runs off to the girl of his dreams. The man is in an excellent mood. Suddenly on the way back, his minivan stalls. He has run out of gas. Hirayama has no choice but to sell a cassette from his collection, because he has no money left at all. At home, the man puts the kettle on the gas stove and has dinner, and then as usual reads a book before going to bed. In his dreams, Hirayama drifts off into peaceful distances, becoming one with this world. And once again his usual day begins, accompanied by work routine. Still, this is not a burden to the man, on the contrary he enjoys it. He polishes the toilets until they shine, and it does not matter that by the end of the day everything will be dirty again. At some point Hirayama finds a sheet of paper with a tic-tac-toe grid drawn on it and takes it with him. During his break, as always, he photographs trees, enjoying nature. Hirayama exchanges a glance with a woman having lunch on the neighboring bench. It seems to make her slightly embarrassed. In his minivan, the man remembers the sheet of paper and makes his move in the tic-tac-toe game, after which he puts the sheet back in the toilet where it was. After visiting the public bath, Hirayama grabs a bite to eat at his favorite bar. The day ends with reading a book, marking the close of another step in this endless cycle called life. The morning goes on as usual. Nothing breaks Hirayama's familiar routine. On his way to work, he listens to his favorite cassette tapes. Takashi admits that he has no chance with Aya, but he is not going to give up anyway. Casually, the guy asks why Hirayama is not married at his age. Before the man can answer, Dara appears, an old friend of Takashi. Dara behaves very strangely, showing how much she likes Takashi's ears. Later, while cleaning a toilet, Hirayama unfolds that same sheet of paper. Whoever left it has made a move. The man makes his move as well and puts the sheet back in its place. Aya approaches Hirayama and returns the cassette to him, asking to listen to the recording once again in his minivan. The girl genuinely likes it. After that, she thanks Hirayama, looking deeply upset. It seems that not everything in her life is going smoothly. Suddenly Aya kisses Hirayama on the cheek and quickly leaves, leaving him confused. For the rest of the day his mood is especially buoyant. At home, he simply enjoys the music with his eyes closed, imagining himself somewhere far away. Hirayama has dinner at his favorite bar, never stopping smiling. And of course he cannot go to sleep without reading. Nothing changes. The next day the man does not go to work, because today is his day off. Hirayama takes his things to the laundromat on his bicycle, and then drops off his photographs of trees to be developed. In the afternoon it is time to clean the apartment. Hirayama adds new pieces to his vast collection of photographs. Later, the man stops by a bookstore and buys a new book. Since it is his day off, he has dinner not at his usual place but at a restaurant. The owner already knows him well and serves him a larger portion than the other guests. Then the woman shares the latest news with him. The restaurant guests insist that the owner sing for them. Of course the woman cannot refuse. Closing his eyes, Hirayama listens to every word of the beautiful female singing. This evening brings him particular joy. The next day at work he continues his tic-tac-toe game with an unknown opponent. During his lunch break, the man once again exchanges glances with the same woman having lunch on the neighboring bench. After work at the bar, the man orders his usual drink. Returning home rather late, he does not expect to see his niece Nico standing by his door. Since their last meeting, she has noticeably grown up. The girl asks to stay the night at her uncle's place. In the morning when he goes to take care of his home garden, he tries not to make any noise so as not to wake Nico. But she wakes up anyway and asks her uncle to take her with him to work, because she does not know what to do there alone. Hirayama agrees. Today it seems his usual order of things will be disrupted. He shows the girl how to use the tape player in the minivan. Such things are not common among young people these days. Nico is curious to ride across the whole of Tokyo. It turns out there is a lot she has either never seen or never noticed. The girl asks Hirayama whether it is possible to load a cassette onto an iPhone. He is confused, not understanding what she means. Later, Nico films her uncle at work on her phone. She feels that he genuinely enjoys what he is doing. During his break they have a snack together on a bench. Nico is surprised when she sees his camera. She has exactly the same one. Hirayama has completely forgotten that it was he who gave the girl the camera. Unexpectedly Nico asks the man whether he considers trees to be his friends. Hirayama replies that he does. Nico stays over again. For now he does not ask unnecessary questions, thinking that if the girl wants to talk about what happened, she will tell him when she herself feels ready. Nico begins reading a book from his collection. In one of the characters, a lonely boy, she recognizes herself. The girl understands his feelings very well. Nico accompanies her uncle to work again and even offers to help him. Hirayama does not object. The tic-tac-toe game with the unknown opponent continues. During his break, Nico asks her uncle whether he has had a falling out with her mother. Hirayama indeed does not communicate with his wealthy sister Keiko. Nico admits that she argued with her mother and ran away. This is the first time the girl has run away, but she always knew that in such a case she would be able to stay with her uncle. Nico has never visited public baths before, but she actually likes it. After that, they ride their bicycles together. The girl notes that her mother and her uncle are completely different. It is as if they live in two different worlds. Hirayama explains that this is absolutely normal. Nico wonders which of these worlds she belongs to. But only now does she feel truly free. In the evening, Keiko comes to take her daughter home, guessing where she has been all this time. The woman orders Nico to pack her things and get into the car. The girl is very upset and does not want to leave, but Hirayama is powerless to influence this in any way, because Nico is not his daughter. Keiko hands her brother his favorite chocolate as a sign of gratitude for looking after Nico. The woman also suggests that he visit their father, saying that he is no longer the same as before. Their father, who suffers from dementia, is now in a nursing home. Hirayama silently refuses. When his sister asks whether it is true that he cleans toilets, Hirayama merely nods with a smile. Nico, having packed her things, hugs him goodbye. Hirayama in turn hugs his sister. When Keiko and Nico drive away, the man cries. The next morning he returns to his usual routine, but something does not go according to plan. Takashi calls him and says that he has quit. Takashi decided to call because Hirayama had always been kind to him. Since there is no replacement yet, Hirayama has to work the shift alone. The man runs himself ragged trying to get everything done. By the end of the shift, Hirayama feels terribly exhausted and calls management, saying that he will not be able to work like this every day. He demands that a replacement for Takashi be found as soon as possible. At home, the man falls asleep without even reading a book. He simply has no strength left for his usual ritual, and from sheer exhaustion he does not even dream. The good news is that already the next day a replacement for Takashi is found, a woman named Sato. The tic-tac-toe duel is over. Hirayama's opponent, who has remained unknown, wrote him, "Thank you." Since today the man did not work alone, before going to sleep he can allow himself to read, as he usually does. This time he dreams. On his day off as usual, Hirayama takes his things to the laundromat. His small dwelling has no washing machine, nor many other conveniences. But this does not matter to him. He is content with everything, especially with his collection of photographs, which is constantly growing. Hirayama also buys a new book, as he does every weekend. Suddenly, while waiting for his laundry to be done, he notices the owner of his favorite restaurant hugging a man. What he sees upsets him, and Hirayama buys 3 strong cocktails and a pack of cigarettes. Not wanting to spend this evening at the restaurant, Hirayama drinks the cocktails by the river nearby. Lighting a cigarette, he begins to cough from the smoke and the nicotine. Unexpectedly, the very man whom the restaurant owner had been hugging approaches Hirayama and asks for a cigarette. It turns out he is her ex-husband. They divorced about 7 years ago, he remarried, and over all those years had not seen his former wife. Recently the man was diagnosed with cancer. He simply wanted to apologize to his ex-wife and thank her for everything. Hirayama offers him one of the cocktails. They drink together. The man asks Hirayama to take care of the woman, even though they had not been very close. The man is also saddened by the fact that people often die without ever finding anything out. Hirayama suggests finding out right now. The men play with their own shadows, after which their paths diverge. This day ends like all the others, both before and after it. The next morning Hirayama begins his week. As he drives to work and listens to his favorite music, the expression on his face constantly shifts from a smile to sadness, with tears in his eyes. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products. Also, the authors will be pleased if you leave your opinion in the comments.